Hello guys, welcome to part 2 of simplifying exponential smoothing and alpha. So let us start with taking a real world example of an FMCG distribution center who was forecasting SKU demand for nationwide replenishment, and they were running exponential smoothing, and alpha was set to zero point 0.2 from implementation. The alpha was never reviewed. It did not consider the market shifts, the promotional intensity, the e commerce order surge, and it did not mainly consider that the traditional retail patterns were collapsing. The market was kind of fundamentally changing its characteristics, demand swinging dramatically between periods, but alpha zero point 0.2 is treating every swing as noise to be smoothed away. The swings are new reality. MAPE kind of climbs to 34%. The forecast is consistently lagging market reality by several months. The operations team is firefighting constantly because the plan is always going wrong. What happens is the new CSCO, one person suggests recalibrating alpha. Alpha shifts to 0.45, more responsive in a genuinely more volatile environment. What happened was MAPE dropped to 19% within 2 months, below pre disruption performance. The parameter had been wrong over a year, not because of negligence, because nobody had been assigned ownership of it. So, alpha is a living parameter. When the market changes, the model must change with it. That is always someone's job. So, alpha is not a technical setting, it is a business decision wearing a mathematical coat. The business question behind it: how fast does this product's demand actually change? High volatility mark is kind of requiring higher alpha because recent data carries more information about where demand is heading. Low volatility allows lower alpha because you can trust the established patterns. If market character changes and alpha does not, the forecast becomes systematically and structurally biased. Product lifecycle matters the same way. Launch phase needs higher alpha. Every data point is valuable. The demand curve is establishing itself. Maturity allows lower alpha. Trust the history, filter the noise. When trend and seasonality are both present, halt winters adds separate smoothing. The parameters for each component are different: alpha for level, beta for trend, gamma for seasonality. Three parameters all require the same ownership discipline as alpha alone. The one fix that solves all of this: alpha must have a named owner. Quarterly review is minimum. When a market event occurs, disruption, new competitor, major promotional change, that is an alpha review trigger. Not optional, it is required. A parameter with no owner is a business decision nobody made. It runs forever at the value someone else chose. So, yeah, we were going to discuss the most important thing: alpha doesn't magically appear. Four ways it kind of gets decided. Most common is vendor default. The system ships with zero point 0.2 or 0.3 and nobody changes it. Your forecasting behavior is being driven by someone else's default config file. The second way is consultant calibration during implementation. They set it based on best practices and historical data, usually correct to go live, rarely reviewed after that. The third is statistical optimization. The system tests multiple values and picks the best one, technically ideal, but only if someone maintains it. And the fourth one is manual override by planners, which is very rare in automated environments. The question is not how alpha was set, the question is whether anyone is reviewing it now. The way alpha gets decided reveals whether forecasting is a managed process or an inherited accident. So three current forces are making misset alpha more expensive than ever before. Every AI powered demand planning system entering the market learns from your existing data and your existing parameter settings. If your alpha was wrong before AI scales that error at portfolio level. The model does not fix bad configuration, it will inherit it. AI does not remove bad forecasting logic, it scales it. Second, post pandemic supply chain disruptions, geopolitical fragmentation, accelerating promotional cycles, as you know, in these days, and climate related supply shocks. Baseline demand volatility is structurally higher across most sectors right now. Alpha values calibrated for a stable pre 2020 market are systematically too low for the current environment. The third signal is ERP and planning system migrations are running at high rates globally. Alpha values are being set during this implementation by consultants who optimize for go live, not for operationally accurate thing. Default values often persist for years without review. The cost of a misset alpha has never been higher. AI will amplify it, volatility will expose it, and system migrations lock it in. So, three forces are making wrong alpha more expensive simultaneously. The review of alpha has never been more urgent. So, what do you do? Go ahead this week, you take the three steps written on the screen. Ask your planning system administrator or the main guy who is doing the planning, or open the system configuration if you have directly got the access. Find the alpha value, write it down. If nobody in your team can answer this question in 60 seconds, that is the first governance failure. Step 2, diagnose it. Take the last 12 months of forecast versus actual. If forecast is consistently lagging the market reality, reacting late to actual shifts, alpha is probably too low. If forecast overreact to every spike or drop, alpha is probably too high. Step 3, ownership. Name the person responsible for alpha review per product category. Set a review calendar quarterly. When a market event occurs, name that as a trigger. Parameter governance is not a technical function, it is a business decision that someone must own. So, next episode, we will be talking about MAD, MAPE, and the bias. So, alpha is not a technical setting, it is a business decision. Set it deliberately, review it regularly, own it completely. This was SCM Decoded for you. New episode every week. The global supply chain community. Thank you, guys.